Welcome everyone, Dylan Gemelli here today with a brand new video for you, and today we are going to talk about Winstrol. But before we talk about Winstrol, I have to reiterate to you that I am not a doctor, okay? All the information I give you is for your entertainment purposes only. I'm not insinuating nor advising you to use any of the compounds that I'm talking about. What you do with this information is completely up to you. So, let's talk about Winstrol. Now, Winstrol is an anabolic steroid that is used to get lean and hard, and it's mainly used as an oral during cutting cycles to help to lose body fat. It's a variant of DHT or dihydrotestosterone, so you can expect similar fat loss benefits as you would with any other DHT derivative steroid. Now, let me touch on something here. I said fat loss because you can lose fat with this, but you lose fat by gaining lean muscle. This is not a fat burner. What do I mean by that? Well, it's not used for massive weight loss. A lot of people, when I say steroids aren't fat burners, I mean that they're not like something that you go attempt to buy at GNC, Vitamin Shop, whatever the case. That is a fat burner designed to help you lose a lot of weight. That is not what steroids are for. They will help you to lose fat, troublesome fat, by gaining lean muscle in the process. But don't expect them to be an overnight miracle if you're 50 pounds overweight, which you shouldn't be touching steroids regardless, but that's not what they're used for. So I just want to make sure that my words aren't mixed and you understand when I say what it's used for fat loss for. So, for most users, it's a cheaper alternative to Anavar and a much stronger one as well. Due to the modification of the A-ring on this steroid, it has very unique cutting abilities, and it makes Winstrol one of the top 3 cutting steroids out there. Now, one of the things that I love about Winstrol is it's a DHT steroid. You don't need to worry about any sort of estrogen conversion or water retention whatsoever. Now, Winstrol has another great capability, and that is the ability to lower the amount of SHBG, which is sex hormone binding globulin, and more so than any other steroid on the market. So let's understand something. SHBG is a hormone, and it binds to other steroids in your cycle, which would render them ineffective. What happens is the higher your SHBG is, then it ties up free testosterone. And you don't want free testosterone tied up. When you use something like Winstrol, it frees up bound testosterone, and it allows you to make far more gains on your cycle. So Winstrol and Proviron, especially ran in the same cycle, is going to be magical for you in terms of helping you to get more out of what you're doing, because by freeing up that bound testosterone that can get tied down by SHBG, you're going to be able to accomplish so much more. So just, something to understand about it. Now, when used during a cutting cycle, Winstrol users are going to tend to get hard, lean, vascularity, veiny. Understand, if you have a higher body fat, don't let someone tell you you can't use Winstrol and it won't be effective. It just won't be as effective. If you're in better condition, leaner, etc., you're going to notice Winstrol shining a heck of a lot more for you. It's still going to be effective, but not nearly as effective if you're in good condition. Joint problems are present with Winstrol. I'm going to get into that. So longer term use I wouldn't recommend. You want to keep it shorter, but I'm going to get into that here in a little bit. Can you drink Winstrol? So, Winstrol is a 17-alpha alkylated steroid, and it's designed not to be destroyed when it first enters the liver, and it allows that hormone to actually enter your bloodstream. If your steroid is not 17-alpha alkylated or methylated, then it will not be able to endure the first pass and will be destroyed by the liver. And that's why injectable steroids like Deca, for example, cannot be drank and have to be injected, intramuscular-wise. Here's an interesting fact about Winstrol. It's usually produced in both the oral and injectable form. More commonly in the oral form, but both. But both forms use the same raw materials. So the injectable version can be taken orally, which is why you always see the question, can you drink Winstrol? And the answer is yes, you can drink Winstrol if it's in the injectable form. So, what's the best dose? The best dose is really up to you. 50 milligrams is common ground for men, all right? For women, 5 to 10 milligrams max, and I don't really like to see women using Winstrol, but I wouldn't go any higher than 10. Now, men, a lot of people can't handle 50. They can't. A lot of people have issues there, get a lot of side effects. 50 milligrams works for a lot of people as well. That's like the high ground dosing, max dose. 25, 30 milligrams, completely fine. You'll see results. Trust me. You probably see better results at 50, you can do it 25. I would not exceed 6 weeks whatsoever. Injectable form, same dosing, but you got to pin it more often, and that kind of sucks because Winstrol, injectable wise, can hurt. There can be some post-injection pain. So while you're not going to have the same amount of toxicity as an oral version of Winstrol, there's still toxicity present in the injectable form, just not nearly as much. But to a degree, it can be, more problematic because of the post-injection pain and the frequency of injection. That's up to you, what you decide to do. But like I said, I wouldn't go over 6 weeks on it. The half-life is 8 to 9 hours, while the active half-life of the injectable is 36 to 48 hours, which, means the, half-life is 4 to 5 hours and 18 to 24 hours, respectively. Side effects. Well, it's a toxic oral steroid, so it can hurt your liver, it can hurt your kidneys, it can hurt your cholesterol. And there's also the dry joint issue that many people go through, so you're probably going to need some joint supplementation with it. It can be pretty harsh on the joints, and that's why people that don't like it. And it can also cause some baldness, especially if you are prone to MPB. So hair loss is definitely an issue for people prone to MPB. Remember, it is a DHT steroid. So these are things to be aware of when using Winstrol. So that's Winstrol. Plenty more to come. Dylan Gemelli signing off.